What's happening, everyone? This is John, host of Video Games in the World, and last time we made a finish of the trading quest. But before we get the Noble Sword, everyone, what we're gonna do is go to the 5th dungeon because that is required to get the Noble Sword. So yeah, I got the Pyramid Jewel, but before we get the rest of the jewels, first we're gonna go to the 5th dungeon. But before we get to the 5th dungeon, first things first, we have to get the final season, which is the season of Autumn. So, I also want to share some news with you people. It is a sad news that I heard that that the voice actor of Mario, Charles Martinet, is retiring from the voice of from being the voice of Mario. Man, I feel so sad because Charles Martinet, I grew up listening to his voice as Mario when I first played Super Mario 64. Man. You know, Charles Martinet will always be the voice of Mario to me. In the same way that Kevin Conroy, may he rest in peace, will always be the voice of Batman. Yeah, Kevin Conroy was, and it will always be the voice of Batman. If you think I'll let you. Just like Mark Hamill will be the voice of the Joker. Okay, so what we need is a bomb flower in order to get into the autumn part of the Temple of Seasons, everyone. So yeah, it's really sad to see him go. I really loved Charles Martinet as the voice of Mario. And there will be, no matter how talented the next voice of Mario is, no matter how talented that voice is, no one, but no one will ever replicate Charles Martinet. Ever. Not only he was Mario, he was Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi. I spent hours of fun playing the old Mario 64 game, Mario Kart 64, listening to him as Mario. Holy shizzle. It is a bomb flower, bro. Okay. Ouch. Accidentally activated the Pegasus seed. The spirit of autumn, my turn has come. They say fall is lonely, but no. Pits are filled with fallen leaves, and mushrooms are ripe for picking. When shadows fall on Hyrule, a hero shall appear. That's me. The rod of seasons has been blessed with an autumn breeze. Climb atop a stump to call forth autumn. Okay. So now it's time to go back to Holodrum. And put our new season to the test. And speaking of the season of autumn, let me tell you something, man. Autumn is coming, and and we are in the last days of August. With the summer coming to an end and the school year upon us, autumn is almost here. Down in the southern states like North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, the kiddies are now back in school. But here in New York, after Labor Day, it's time for the kiddies to go back to school. He's really happy with his cat, that old man. Jump? Okay. Oh, I forgot to do something in town. Let's plant the gacha seed here. Plant. I'll lend you 150. Thank you. And by the way, yesterday I finally beat the video game The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Yay! What a game that was, man. 10 out of 10. That's a score I can give it, like I gave Breath of the Wild. 10 out of 10, baby. That game was totally phenomenal. It was incredibly epic and awesome. And yesterday, after beating the game, I was like, well, now we need an animated movie. So, that reminds me, speaking of an animated Zelda movie, I remember when Gaten Matarazzo of Stranger Things fame said that it would be cool to see a Legend of Zelda animated movie, but the movie needs to be without voice dialogue and let the action and music do all the work. Oh look, it's our witch friend. But I'm in no mood to bump into her because I already got the piece of heart which, clumsily, I forgot to record. So, be on your way, little girl. Level 5, the Unicorn's Cave. So this is the 5th level of the game, the Unicorn's Cave. So the boss in this stage is the what's it called again? The Dig Dogger. Yes, the Dig Dogger. Remember in the first Legend of Zelda when you fought the Dig Dogger? Well, you required a flute to shrink the Dig Dogger, causing it to become smaller and sometimes split into 2 or 3 mini Dig Doggers. But in this game, forget it. You won't be able to. It's not the flute that's gonna get him. You need the magnetic gloves in this one. Which means that the Dig Dogger in this game is a little bit more challenging than the last time, than in the first Legend of Zelda game. You know what I'm saying? So on my Switch, I'm playing some old school video games like from the NES, the Super NES. Now it's really cool to play all these old school games again, but what's kind of bothersome is that no Mega Man X or Castlevania or Final Fantasy. Well, at least there's in the case of Mega Man, there's Mega Man and Mega Man X and Mega Man ZX Legacy Collections, and also there's Castlevania Collections as well. As for Final Fantasy, you got the Pixel Remaster Collection. But at least in the NES, I can play old school games like Double Dragon, and Double Dragon 2, and Punch-Out. You know, playing Double Dragon and Punch-Out brings back a lot of memories. I tell you one thing, man. The 1990s was the best decade to be a kid. We had the Super NES, we had the NES, the Super NES, the Sega Genesis, the Game Boy, the Nintendo 64, the PS1. You know what I'm saying? And in that time, there were no smartphones, no Facebook, no Twitter, no Instagram. So much better times back then. Instead of listening to music on smartphones, we had Walkman, and we had and then we started having MP3 players. Shoot, man, those were way better times. Woo! 100 rupees. Hell yeah. And the thing about TV shows from back in them days, back in the 1990s. What I used to love as a child in the 1990s was Kids WB. Yup, Kids WB was my thing, bro. If you were a teenager, you had MTV back in the 90s. Me, as a child back in the 90s, I had Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and then when I started getting into when I was 10 years old, I started watching, when I was 11 years old, I started watching MTV, you know, watching Beavis and Butthead, and Daria. Then at the age of 12, I started watching even more mature stuff, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you know, Felicity. But it was a college drama, Felicity, back in those days. TV was so much better back in the 90s. And now, when I talk about movies and shows in the 1990s, movies and shows in the 1990s, as well as video games, it was a golden time. So many stories were very well thought out. How the content was phenomenal, you know. Those days were like incredibly epic and awesome. So there were a lot of trends over the years in television and movies. In the 1950s, although I wasn't born in that time, in the 1950s, when it came to television shows, you had stories like The Twilight Zone, The Honeymooners, The Three Stooges, Lassie, Leave It to Beaver. The 60s, you had Star Trek, Batman, Doctor Who. Room 222, The Brady Bunch. In terms of movies, in the 50s, film noir was popular. And you had also spaghetti westerns, which many of them I didn't like. But I'm not gonna talk so much about it. I don't want to cause any war or anything like that of why I didn't like it. On why I didn't like many of them. As for the 60s, in terms of movies, James Bond 007 movies were very trendy. And also, names like Alfred Hitchcock and George A. Romero, they redefined the horror genre with films like Psycho, The Birds, Night of the Living Dead, you know what I'm saying? Saber-tooth tiger here. Now, the 1970s was a renaissance of both television and cinema. Television in the 1970s, you had stuff like you had all these awesome shows like All in the Family, The Jeffersons. Oh, I hate these guys. And also shows like Good Times. Yeah, the 70s was a renaissance for movies and TV shows. Let me make this short and sweet. I could tell you a huge list of these things, of the best movies and shows of the 70s and movies of the 70s. But it's gonna take a little while, and I might lose focus on on the topic at hand in this Let's Play. But yeah, the 80s had a lot of cheesy shows and movies. Now, the 80s was the best in terms of television and cartoons as well, especially the cartoons. The 1990s was the golden age of both television and cinema. The 2000s will be the end of the golden era for both movie and television. Because movie and television in the 2010s, well, when it comes to movies and to television shows in the 2010s, what you saw in the 2010s was Netflix, Hulu, Tubi, Freevee, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, you name them. But most will remember the 2010s on both cinema and television as the age of the superhero. But honestly, I think people are getting sick and tired of the superhero genre these days. Can't say I blame them in a way. Some people would say that superhero movies are failing because they lack story and they're too heavily focused on humor. On forced humor, some people would say. Like that scene in She-Hulk, that scene. No offense to Tatiana Maslany, but that scene, I don't know, it was cringy. the big key yet. Gotta get it first. Okay, dude. Okay. Okay, dude. Yeah. Good. Anyway, about beating Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, it was really fun. I really enjoyed the game a lot. My next game for the Switch will be Mortal Kombat 1, but there are so many Switch games I want to play that I want to own, like Smash Bros. Ultimate, for example. I also want to get Skyward Sword for the Switch. I never had the chance to beat Skyward Sword on the Wii, because I was too occupied with a lot of things. You know, it's adulthood. That's life. But I really want to play Skyward Sword again. Man, I really wish that they also remastered Twilight Princess. And I want to play the Link's Awakening remake on the Switch. If only they could remaster the Wind Waker and if only they could remaster the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, two of the best Zelda games ever. Yeah, many would say that the best Zelda game is Ocarina of Time, but me, the best Zelda game, A Link to the Past, hands down. I like the sequel, but it was epic, but not as epic as A Link to the Past. Oh, now I know where to go. Sorry, I'm feeling kinda lost. another key. Now, it's time to go for the big key. I miss being a kid. Sorry. It's because of the talk I've been giving you in this video. Oh, I hate those guys. The laws of magnetics. What I needed. Where's Magneto when you need him? Here we go. Jesus Christ. There you go. Ta 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 ta! Ya tengo la llave. I got the boss key. Now it's time to go for the boss's lair. By the way, I have plans of making a Kingdom Hearts playthrough, but I also have plans for the next playthroughs coming soon. This October, we're gonna have a Halloween fest in this YouTube channel. It's gonna be more horror-themed games. We're gonna have Castlevania, Resident Evil. You know. So yeah, get ready for some spooky fun in this channel this October. Okay, Dick Dogger, time to kick your ass. I may not have the flute, but I got something for you. I got something for you and your little friends. Come here, Dick Dogger. Show me what you got. Ahaha. Shucks. Be careful. Okay, once it's split into the mini dig daggers, slash him till you kill him. Or you can use the spike, of course. My bad. How you like that? Calm down. Chucky. Gonna squash you like a turtle. No, like a cockroach. Te voy a aplastar como una cucaracha. Okay, it's getting quicker now that it's a little bit small. It's still big, but it's getting quicker after I squash many of its little friends. The smaller ones are when they split into multiple mini dig daggers. They're mad annoying. Yes! At last! Woo! The nurturing warmth and essence of nature. Balmy days build strong saplings with their nurturing warmth. Nurturing warmth has brought me to strength. I saw a dream of you inside the vast ruins. Perhaps an essence is hidden in some... Oh. Okay. Let's go back to the Maku tree. And before we close this video, I just do hope that now that I'm done with Tears of the Kingdom, I just hope to see that Zelda universe can make a fan dub of Tears of the Kingdom, like they did with Breath of the Wild, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, And hopefully one day they can make a fan dub of Link's Awakening, and I could audition for the role of a character. That's Pharaoh, the Oracle of Secrets. I got a Gacha Seed. Excellent. Whew, excellent. So after this game, we're going to do Oracle of Ages. Now, it's not about seasons, the next one. It's more about time travel, you know. Let's appraise a couple of rings. Yeah, I got this one. Okay. Rings do nothing unless worn. That much I do know. Okay, so now I'm gonna wrap up this video so I can so the next video is about getting the noble sword. So thank you for watching, and until next time, later.